Hi Jamie!
How are you?
I'm tired and have a headache.
So why are you tired and with a headache?
I was at my gig.
I was also at your gig. What you didn't do though is drink all of the Guinness, which is what I did.
No, I didn't.
I am fragile.
But it's a nice Sunday morning and we are playing with a beautiful Flying V. To ask you the question, to V or not to V?
To V or not to V? This is actually one of our customers' guitars, so we both have to say yes.
Obviously,
V.
yes.
The Flying V is it's an old shape, it's an interesting shape, it's a classic shape, and it comes with its own advantages and drawbacks. The first drawback is that it is this shape. Like, there's no way around it. This isn't the most ergonomic shape for a guitar.
It's not player friendly. No.
There's a technique that you can use when you're sitting down with a Flying V. I learned this from Rob Chapman. You take this lower horn and you hook it under your leg and then you kind of clamp it down between your legs. And it does stay, but it is fatiguing.
Yeah, see, when I was growing up, all the guitars that I bought were, and still own actually, are basically Super Strats.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have the occasional odd thing. I have an Explorer copy, the EX50, but it's still got a cutaway. There's still somewhere to rest it. I've always been put off by a V because of the nature of it.
They're all good. I mean, once you stand up and play it, they're fine. But when you're sitting down, this technique works. However, Gibson aren't the only company to make a guitar in this shape. There's plenty of other Vs out there, and some of them are a lot more pointy and a lot more jagged, and they're gonna stab you in awkward places. Also, a lot of them put the jack here, which means it's in the way of your leg.
I don't know why they would do that.
The only other thing with sitting and holding a V like this is that when I go for the controls, I do feel like I'm dangerously close to my crotch, and so I'm uncomfortable doing it in front of people, you know?
Oh.
Like, I feel like I'm going to stain it by holding it this way for too long.
Nobody wants that.
It's gross, isn't it?
Oh, stained V.
Other than that, there are plenty of reasons to V.
So this particular Flying V is an Epiphone reissue of a 1958 Carina V.
Which are the best Vs.
Which are the best Vs. Now that means this one is absolutely lovely. It is a really nice guitar. It is at the point where the high-end Epiphones become better than the low-end Gibsons.
Yeah.
It is a dream to play, and it is made with the finest materials that they can use the Epiphone name for.
Absolutely. I mean, it's solid Carina wood. You've got some American design pickups on there. It's got Grover tuners. It's got this lovely gold hardware, which has actually stayed gold over sort of 12 years of being a guitar. This particular guitar doesn't have an issue that a lot of these do, which is neck dive.
Yes, so one way of getting around the awkwardness of sitting down playing them is to stand up, and then if you have a V with a nice small ergonomic body, it just nosedives, and then you're constantly fighting, and then you have to play basically clamping the bottom as well, and it's just uncomfortable. This, however, has a whopping great body, a massive chunk of wood, and it's very long, and it's just very big and bulky. And as long as you're not a very small gentleman, because I have seen a band with a very small man playing a Flying V, and it just looks ridiculous, but at least it doesn't neck dive.
Yeah, a combination of a heavy body and a skinny headstock and light tuners have meant that this guitar doesn't neck dive, because SGs, Vs, Explorers, they all have neck dive.
Yep.
Just a feature of the guitars.
Yep.
Why would you buy a V? Who do you love that plays Vs?
Well, I listen to a lot of metal, and I grew up listening to a lot of Judas Priest.
Right, okay.
And for the 80s, that they used, well, for pretty much all of their career, KK Downing used a Flying V, a Gibson V. Except German heavy metal, they used a V. Diamond Head, back in 1980, one of the first bands to really come to light using a Flying V. Metallica, of course. So yeah, perfect if you like metal. But as I said, this is a 58 reissue.
And metal wasn't a thing in 58.
No.
So this guitar was designed for blues players. Who else was playing Gibson guitars in the 50s? It was blues players. And that's interesting because I heard it when you were playing it. It has this mid-range honk that nothing else has.
Yeah, it is an incredible sound for that guitar.
It's a sound, isn't it? It's Albert King, it's Judas Priest, it's just blues and rock music, but with a mid-range punch that you only get from one of these. Like, they sound different to a Les Paul and an SG, don't they?
Yeah, they do sound unique. And of course, this is back in the day, back in the 50s and 60s, before you could get pedals. I was just randomly blocking my head with a V. Before you get pedals to adjust your sound. Because nowadays you can make any sound from any guitar, pretty much.
Absolutely.
We are going straight into a Boss Katana. There's no pedals, no special presets, because this is new and I haven't worked out how to turn all the knobs to make them sound how I want.
There's a video on that coming.
Apparently. It'll be fun. Me and computers,
yeah. So this guitar just sounds the way it sounds.
Yeah.
It's mid-rangey and honky and bitey.
It's just got punch.
And it still sounded nice for sparkly indie playing.
Yeah, it's incredible.
I think a big part of the difference in the sound is the scale length and where the pickups live in that scale length, and although also the fact that with this type of V they're using replicas of the Tim Shaw humbuckers.
Himbuckers.
Himbuckers.
Himbuckers. You can't go to church with them.
Oh. And yeah, the Tim Shaws do just have a different sound to the patent pending 59s.
I might get that on a t-shirt. Orcus Himbuckers.
Orcus Himbuckers. We need to make some Himbuckers. But then we'll have to do some Herbuckers as well.
Oh, yeah.
And then some Theirbuckers for the non-binary folks.
Yeah.
Because we can't have binary humbuckers.
Oh, God. What have I done? What have I done?
While we wading into this murky
Opened up a can of Herbuckers, then buckers. Gender neutral buckers. I think the guitar sounds nice anyway.
I think it sounds great.
And if the question were to Epiphone 58 Carina reissue or not to Epiphone Carina 58 Carina 58, that, then the answer would obviously be yes.
Yeah, I tried. The guy who we're fixing it for was at your gig last night, and I got drunk and tried to buy it off him. He said no, but I did try.
He'd already paid me for the work, so...
I made an offer. Actually, a not unreasonable offer, but an offer that he wasn't willing to accept because he doesn't want to sell the guitar.
Fair enough.
I get, because it's lovely.
I say we call it a video, play out.
Call it a video, you can play us out with some filth.
Thanks for watching and tune in next time. Bye!
It sounds cool. It's surprising how different we just got it to sound, isn't it?